Thank you so much for stopping by, fellow fans of Clash of Clans. It is your host, Galadon, and this is one of my favorite episodes to do each season, and that is when we review what is going on as far as the professional attackers and what the current meta is. What is the strongest attack out there? What is everybody using? Or at least, okay, fine, it's Tribe Gaming, but Tribe is a really good representation of the majority of top Clash players. You're going to see these attacks consistently used by other players throughout the Champion 1 League, and that also means in World Championship level play. Let's get right into the replays, and surprisingly, okay, not surprisingly, is the fact that the lightning spell is everywhere, and Zap Lalo is the most popular strategy out there right now for the Town Hall 13 Champion 1 World League meta. And yes, I did call it Zap Lalo, but that's okay. Remember, let's just call it a lightning spell, give it that respect, and then the nicknames can abound with Zap. That's totally fine. Now, this attack does have slight variations, but almost always you're going to see the player take out the clan castle and a couple other significant defenses in the beginning with the lightning spells and then the earthquake spell. Today's episode is not meant to be an instructional video on how to attack with Zap Lalo. More, we're just taking a look at how this player used it, and it's my good buddy SLS, Sir Longsword, dropping in an easy 3. This is pretty much a textbook Zap Lalo right here. It's what they call that Sui Hero Zap Lalo, where the heroes go in. Their job is to create the funnel. You'll notice also take down about a third of the base, and of course wipe out the town hall. Now there's not that much left for the Lalo portion to get to. As you can see, there's only 2 remaining air defenses. The Stone Slammer will move over and take out the remaining scatter shot, and that's about it. Okay, now as these troops sweep through this base and Sir Longsword makes it look easy, let's talk a little bit about the future of the meta and my predictions, okay? Now here's the thing. The nasty nerf word, nobody likes to hear it, is always a possibility, but what is way better than nerfing any individual troop or spell or strategy is a balancing throughout the rest of the game. So, yes, you already know that by the end of this video, the #1 attack strategy out there is Zap Lalo. So a lot of players are using that. Does it mean it's OP? Not necessarily does it need a nerf, but perhaps we'll see a balancing in that air targeting defenses get a little bit more powerful. Air defenses, archer towers, wizard towers could maybe get a little bit of a boost, and that would instead offset air attacks rather than simply just nerfing something like the lightning spells or dragons or lava hounds or whatever the case may be, balloons. So that's SLS, that's his attack, and I'm just telling you right now, my vote is balancing, not nerfing, always. Do I think the lightning spell needs to be changed? You know, okay, yeah, it got used by a lot of players, but that doesn't mean that it needs to get a nerf, because everybody uses rage spells. Most everybody uses freeze spells. Do those need to be nerfed? No. So my vote is do not nerf the lightning spell. You heard it here. Quote me on that one. Let's keep it the same and balance everything else around it if the Clash team decides that too many players are having too much success with lightning spells. And only they know. Remember that. We don't know the actual statistical numbers as far as how many maxed out bases are getting tripled using lightning spells versus any other spells. So let's watch CG right now. And of course, no lightning spells this time. One of my favorite attacks, and that is the Hog Riders and the Miners. The hybrid, Queen Charge hybrid, is still one of the strongest attack strategies out there, and it is the second most popular attack strategy army composition at Town Hall 13 for world-class players. And CG, this is just a how to do it just perfectly, using those freeze spells to freeze not only the single target Inferno, but also the defending Archer Queen. In goes the Archer Queen after the Town Hall, also providing the funnel. But as she wipes out the Town Hall, it makes it so much easier for the rest of this attack to go down smoothly. You can see in goes the Barbarian King on the right-hand side. Here come the Hogs and the Miners right down the middle. And notice the siege barracks way up there above 3 o'clock. CG using it to also kind of help guide those units in towards the core. A lot of players, okay, I'll admit, like myself, amateurs, will just drop the king and the siege barracks in the same spot. You'll notice these tribe guys are staggering those 2 drops to help continually force the Hogs and the Miners together because you're going to get so much more value out of your Warden ability, out of your heal spells, if you can somehow get the Hogs and the Miners to track together, and oftentimes they won't if you're even a little bit sloppy with your funnel. So CG, getting the job done once again, and we can obviously see why this Queen Charge Hog Miner hybrid is the second most popular strategy in Champion 1 and beyond right now in Clash of Clans. And I will say this in personal opinion, it is easier to execute than a Lalo attack, but maybe it just comes down to having the practice. Queen Charge is such an easy strategy to learn if you have the time to invest in it, and if you're coming up through Clash of Clans, basically from Town Halls 9 and above, you have the opportunity to use Queen Charge. Might as well get used to it because it comes in handy at every Town Hall level after that. Now let's get into this player whose name I can't even begin to figure out how to pronounce, but there's something coded in there. You guys, I'm sure, will tell me in the comments. But this, another popular strategy, not really. We're going to get into more of the fringe strategies right now. And this one, the only E-Dragon attack in the entire CWL this season between Tribe and its 6 opponents. So E-Dragons are still obviously effective, but check it out as we also have lightning spells in this attack. And surprisingly, just 2. So the strategy here was to use the lightning spell to take out the sweeper. That allows you to send in those E-Dragons from whatever direction you want. Once you've got the sweeper down, then you can kind of focus on where they're going in. You'll notice there's a beautiful funnel happening right here. The Royal Champion takes out the scatter shot. The dragons are going to move in, and about a quarter of this base is already gone. Watch as they move in from the top right, and an early Warden ability right here, while every single balloon and every single dragon, okay, except for one, is within range of that Warden's ability. Also an early Rage, but they're just going to go crashing through the rest of the space. And again, watch how tightly they stay grouped. Because of that Royal Champion funnel, they're all going to soak up those rage spells, and that makes a huge difference. The balloons head in, taking out the Eagle Artillery. The dragon's going to sweep across the base. Good freeze spells. Again, it's spell timing and placement in any raid that you do. On the outside, you've got the King and the Queen out there kind of clearing and also funneling. Remember, you don't want those dragons to end up strays outside of the pack. They need to stay tightly grouped and utilize that rage spell. In they go, plenty of time left, and you can see that this is another innovative attack. You don't see that many E-Dragon triples anymore, but it also very much depends upon the base design. And that is something that we've seen again and again and again, is these players have the ability to pick out the base they want, to fit the strategy to the base, and making it look easy. Here come the E-Dragons, and are there like 6 of them left? It feels like almost every single E-Dragon that started this raid is still alive at the end. And it all came down to a simple takeout of the sweeper and a funnel from the Royal Champion. So not a very popular attack, but neither is Bats and Dragons, but it proves that these attack strategies are still viable. Many of us thought that Bats would go by the wayside once the introduction of the scatter shot arrived, right? Because the scatter shots are just a bat spell's worst nightmare next to a wizard tower. Just one more defense that they have to worry about. But if you're Eve Check, you know how to exploit a base's weaknesses. And watch as he comes in with the Yeti Bomb early. The Blimp going to come in, take out that Town Hall, and also, of course, serving as a beautiful funnel. King and Queen on the bottom left are going to also funnel those units again. Like we keep talking about, into a tight group. They can all benefit from the rage, or in this case, the freeze spells that are going to protect them as they get the Eagle down early. Once again, Eve Check also using that early Warden ability as the Eagle gets out of the way while they face the single target Inferno. And then here come the Bats. Look at the top of the screen. There was an Ice Golem that moved in, and you'll notice there's no multi-target Infernos, scatter shots, or wizard towers in the immediate area. Watch for those well-timed freeze spells. There's one right there that not only catches the wizard tower, but also other area defenses. Got to freeze it again, but the Bats roll right through. One more freeze spell for the final wizard tower. As you'll notice, the timing was flawless. The main attacking force took out the last scatter shot right as the Bats moved in. And even though the freeze wasn't there at the very end, the Bats managed to squeak in underneath that wizard tower, take it out, and now, yes, they're going to have their way with the rest of this base. A couple of heroes are still up, a couple of dragons, some cleanup minions, and Eve Check putting down a beautiful Bat Dragon with also, yes, lightning spells. So as this attack wraps up, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the percentages. I mean, what happened here this week? What was truly the dominant strategy? As I said, yes, of course, it was Zap Lalo. We know that. But lightning spells, again, out of 73 3-star attacks, lightning spells were used 74% of the time. So about 3/4 of the time. But I'll tell you this, rage spells were used over 95% of the time in those same attacks. 55% of the attacks were Zap Lalo. 27% of the attacks were the hybrid, and most of those used lightning spells. Only 9% were Zap Hog, but that was Eve Maxi, and we've got a video dedicated just to his Zap Hog attack. Then 4% Drag Bat. The rest of the attacks were Hog Riders, traditional Lalo, or traditional E-Dragons like you saw in the video. So, it's exciting. It seems to me, and this is just my personal opinion, that things are pretty well balanced right now. In Champion 1, you almost never see a perfect war. Are there too many 3-stars? I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. In World Competition, I love to see triples, but not all triples. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. As always, true Galafan, making it all the way to the end of the video. That's why I love, think about, and appreciate every single one of you every single day. So stay healthy, sane, and safe. Wash your hands. Be kind to other people, animals, and planet. If you go outside, wear a mask, socially distance, and I'll see you back here again tomorrow for more full attacks. Galadon, not bad. I'd say they're okay.